Hey everyone, Phreak here. Time for a new deck and a new game. This is Mono Freljord Poros. Much like the previous Demacia Shadow Isles deck, this is a very rough draft, as I will generally do throughout most of this period. I'm doing rough decks. Again, the goal being that I've played this game over several months before everyone else got to see it, and so I know a lot more decks than what I'm showing, and I know more fine-tuned decks than what I'm showing, but I'd rather let players experience some of that themselves. I'm not trying to show off tournament decks that I've played. So instead what we're doing here is taking some pretty obvious archetypes and just saying, hey, throw some cards together, let people get a feel for how the deck plays out. So that's going to be most of the videos that I'm going to be putting out over the next who knows how long. So this is basically two themes, almost three, but not really. I threw in every card that reacted to the word Poro, and then I threw in Take Heart because I'm already playing Braum, because Braum makes Poros. Because I'm Mono Freljord, I'm playing Avaros and Outriders, which grants the top unit in our deck +3/+3 Overwhelm. And I figured since I'm already doing deck buff, let's just play more deck buff. And so I'm playing every Poro card, almost every deck buff card, and then Tryndamere for good measure, and 2 copies of Flash Freeze for good measure, because combat tricks are good. Once we're done dealing with this, we'll actually talk about what's going on. So Omen Hawk gives the top 2 allies in your deck +1/+1. This Poro has that, for example. This card is a Freljord card, and it's when you're summoned, make a 1-cost Poro from every other faction. Essentially, every 1-cost Poro from every other faction has a keyword. So the Noxus one has Challenger, the Shadow Isles one has Fearsome, and that's kind of the flavoring. So unfortunately, I spent so much mana that I cannot afford to play Poro Snacks yet. That can be troubling, we'll see. But I've got some Poros here. And what's nice is if my opponent doesn't find a 3-attack unit, Fearsome is unblockable. Fearsome requires you to have 3 attack to block it. So I get to sneak in for 1 damage here. Better than nothing. Only by a little, but better than nothing. And now I need to spend 8 mana to get Poro Snacks and Outriders, which I'm not going to have. I'm going to have 4+2 right now, or in this case 4+1. And honestly, I have no rush to play this card, so I'm just going to sit and bank the mana instead. There's always a chance that I care. Nice. So my other Omen Hawk buff got on Mighty Poro. 4/4 Overwhelm, not bad.
Discipline and steel.
We're gonna go ahead and play Outriders here.
United, nothing can stop us.
So now the top unit in my deck is +3/+3 Overwhelm. By the way, deck buff goes really, really well with Braum. If you can make him like a 2/7 or a 3/8, he can really take over games. Braum is 0/5 Challenger regen, so he heals to full every round, and he can pick what he wants to fight. Okay. There's a 4-attack Vanguard Sergeant. I'm going to throw the Hawk at it. So we're going to have some pretty easy blocks here. We're going to chump block this guy once my opponent decides that they're ready to go. Okay, what else are we doing? Oh, that's really cute. Actually, that doesn't help you. Quick Strike does not work for things like single combat, so this is just going to simply die. I can still get in the way and block the units. So the way this works, right? Single combat is not attack defense. Quick attack does not work in single combat. But because they are layering this spell during the combat round, I can still declare a blocker and lock in my blockers, which means that now Vanguard Defender is blocked. The Outriders are going to die because of single combat, but it still counts as being blocked, and so the Defender will not hit anything. Right, spell goes off. Can't hit anything. Already got blocked. Out we go. Okay, so here we are, round 5. I have 7 mana, which is just enough to play Mighty Poro and Poro Snacks. Part of the reason I didn't play Affectionate Poro.
would fall by my blade.
Fiora's a good card. We're gonna do this. Because with Fearsome, she can block it. She has 3 power. So we're going to do this. And I am baiting very heavily that I have Poro snacks, but that's okay.
Stand strong.
That's a block that's going to go my way. So let's go ahead and pop this. All Poros forever gain +1/+1. Poro snack is a great card.
I gladly serve.
Poro allies everywhere. So Poro's in hand, Poro's in my deck. Turns out I buffed Tryndamere to get +3/+3. Pretty effective. Fiora's turn to challenge. And she's challenger, she can actually pick someone to attack. She levels up, becomes 4/4. And then if she's killed 4 enemies, wins the game. Fiora is her own win condition. Oh wow, that's a choice. I assume there's a big buff here. Riposte, indeed. Okay, that's going to be very powerful. So she has barrier and 6 attack. That will definitively kill my Poro and live. That's okay. So I can choose to play my 5/6 or my Outriders to get some Overwhelm. Or to get something else from my deck. I think I'm going to take the Outrider play, though. Or the Hearthguard play. Get the stronger unit on the board. And essentially what I'm going to try to do right now is continually force my opponent to have fast effects. So we're going to end this here. I'm going to bank the mana. Right, you don't have to be mana efficient as long as you can bank spell mana. There's Braum with +1/+1. It's not the most amazing thing, but it exists. So essentially by swinging with these 2, I either get 8 damage or my opponent has to play some kind of fast effect to get Fiora on board. Alternatively, I can use Braum for sort of similar circumstances, but and we're going to do that. We're going to try that.
The mustache? Who knows?
Because this lets me put a lot of units on the board. Okay. Oh, you know what? You have Judgment. You wouldn't bank this mana if you didn't have Judgment. I'm making the call right now. 8 mana. Battling ally strikes all battling enemies. He has Judgment. Or she has Judgment. Waiting in the background. Fiora's going to judge us. You would not spend 0 mana unless you had Judgment. So I know for sure. I know for sure what's going on here. Playing Outriders is a slight risk. In case like single combat plus something gets used, but
Many tribes.
We're gonna develop.
Freljord.
I have to play around Judgment forever. That's okay. So yeah, so now I only have 1 mana, so now my opponent can say, ah, you have no effects available, let me go take you down. So Fiora's a 3/3. She can easily kill 1, 2, would die to this one, so kill these 2 units. Once one of them dies, I'm playing Tryndamere. And Tryndamere is going hard.
I never hold
Yeah,
back.
so probably this one. Or is it Riposte and we're killing the Hearthguard? Okay, yeah. Is this ready your attack? This is not correct. This is wrong. Because she's already going to kill this.
Death by 1,000
These are
cuts.
not battling enemies. But still levels up.
No equal.
Now we get Tryndamere in game.
Who would face me? The barbarian king himself.
Your opponent surrendered. Yeah, that was a misplay. Rip. 3-1.